Hi, good afternoon to all, and thank you, Ankit, for introducing me to your students. And of course, I can see few friends, Amit, Archana, we have worked together. Ankit, we have spoken a couple of times, so it's a familiar territory. And yes, so Ankit has introduced myself, but I will take you all by a little surprise that we won't be talking much about hotel operations and revenue and other things in this session. But rather than that, I would like to call it a class of 2020, which is going to be talking about you guys, you students who have been affected by all this, which has happened all over. So let's talk about it. We are facing a very difficult time, which we have never seen. I'm sure you all have heard a lot about Corona, COVID-19, and all of this. We have, in the human race, we have never experienced these kind of pandemic wherein we are not able to move out, we are not able to meet our friends, we are not able to go to offices, colleges, schools, and all these places. And we have been facing this from the last 3 4 months. And I understand, the first question which clicks when you are facing such kind of situation is, why this has happened with me. This is the first thing which comes to the mind, and trust me, it comes to everybody's mind who is facing this right now. It is not only happening with students like you or all across the world, but to every individual who is living out there, surviving each day with this pandemic. I'll give you an example. I understand that, I understand that being in the final year of your studies, most of you must be the final year students who are attending this session. I'm assuming that, and you must be having a lot of plans. When we pass out of our hotel management colleges, we have lots of plans, lots of dreams, lots of aspirations that we will be joining, this job, this hotel, this industry. I will be doing my career path this way, that way, or I will be going for higher studies, MBA, or maybe a master's in hotel management, or I will be doing this. You have a kind of tick list, and one of the tick list which is very very friendly with all of us hotel management student is, when we pass out of the college, we all want to go to Goa. We have studied for 3 years, and now what we want to do is we want to go to Goa to have a small get together before we get ourselves exposed to the industry, to have that kind of energy when we are back, to go back to work and start working. We go and we want to go and have some fun. But yes, this nothing of that sort has happened which we were expecting. I'm pretty sure that now you already have spent 4 months in college, in at home. A lot of online classes must be happening, a lot of teachings, a lot of learnings. But I wanted to take this session not talking mostly about what is exactly revenue, how the hotels are going to take place, what are the things that are going to change. You must be aware of a lot about this. On Monday, we will be doing a revenue management session, wherein I will be taking that as a complete session, explaining you that what are the career opportunities when if you want to choose a revenue stream. But today, we will be mostly talking about you guys. The class of 2020. I mean, everybody is affected. Let's talk about everyone. Yeah, like I understand that final year students are thinking, yaar ye mere saath hi kyun hona? When I am passing in 2020, why this corona has hit me badly? Now, I am not sure what is going to happen next. When is the industry going to revive? When are we going to see the positive side of the industry? We are not very sure about it, and I'm also not very sure about it. I cannot tell you that okay, this month, this date, this time of the year, the hotels are going to start the operations. No one can say that. None of the industry experts or the people who have been working for so long can actually predict when the industry is going to revive. But we are sure of one thing, that we will all overcome this. The human race has seen a lot of pandemics, epidemics, a lot of floods, natural calamities, but we have always overcome all of this. And this is not going to be a big deal. This will be over for sure one fine day. We all will be moving out, we all will be chasing our aspirations, we all will be chasing our dreams, we all will be starting our life with a new hope and with a new heart, with a new insight, and we all will be doing something or the other which we have been waiting for last these 3 4 months. I will tell you that how it is not different from, for anybody. For example, let's say I've just passed out my school. Now if I have passed out from school, there is a gap and there is a dream of, yeah, school khatam hoga so I will go to a college. I have certain insight. But what about these first years, have just passed out 12? Most of the colleges are going to conduct the first year on as online classes. So there is literally no college for the people who are just passing out. So they are saying that, we are the worst affected. I will only be talking about, a hotel management perspective. I'm not going to other streams. Let's talk about, the second year guys, where you go for your industrial training. Trust me, this is the time we cherish the most. You can read hundreds of books, you can attend hundreds of lectures, but I proudly say that, we are not someone who deals with machines. We deal with human beings. Are you with me? I mean, I proudly say that as hoteliers, we are not dealing with machines. We are not dealing with softwares. We are not dealing with laptops. We deal with human emotions. We deal with human beings. And that is the factor when we actually go to our industrial trainings. That is the time when we actually see how the industry operates, how food is served, how food is cooked, how check-ins are taken, how purchasing is done, how accounts work, how HR works. These are the multiple things which we go through when we go to our industrial training. So second year students can easily say that this has happened to my time. I'm not able to go to industrial training. Final year, I already said that must be having a lot of dreams, lot of aspirations. When you pass out from the college, you want to go there, you don't want to have a dream job, you want to start out, you will be having a lot of n number of things that you want to do, but you're not able to do. Now, I understand that you have waited for this day for a long period of time, that, you will be passing out from the college, you will be having a graduation ceremony, you will show that, sir, your graduation certificate, your marks to your friends, to your parents, they will all come at your graduation day. But this day has not happened. But do you realize that this is not where the world is ending? This is not just for this day you have lived for this long. It is the past 3 years that you have been there in the institute, gaining knowledge every day, going out and doing the job. So why we have to get so negative if this is not happening for one particular thing? And trust me, when people are saying, that nahi hoga, nothing is going to open, it will take more time, it will, the industry is not going to revive. Let me tell you one thing, that, once this industry is going to operate, we will be going hell busy with each passing day. I'll give you a small example, and it's a mental thing. We have been stuck at our home for more than now 4 months, almost 4 months, more than 4 months. Everybody wants a vacation, everyone. A person who can book a room of 500 rupees to a businessman who can book a room, get a private charter, go for a room which is 5 lakhs rupees per night, they all want to go for a small vacation. Do you guys realize that what is going to be the magnitude, the impact this is going to, when the COVID is going to get over, when we will going to get the vaccine, and when the things are going to roll, how much business is going to come in? On what magnitude the people are going to travel? I'm not talking about international travel. It will take some time, but do you realize that what about the domestic tourism? People are dying to move out of their houses. People are, they want to go out with their families, with their kids, to have some good time, to, get over these 4 months. I'm sure you all must be having your plans to go to particular places, to go have fun, to get a drink, maybe, to go to a bar, maybe to go to a nice restaurant, maybe to go to a beach. Hundreds of things you want to do after this. So all I'm saying is we don't have to be so negative about this. There is going to be a lot of positives once we are going to overcome this, and human race has, as I've already said, has always overcome a lot of epidemics, a lot of pandemics, a lot of natural calamities. So this is not going to last forever. We will definitely overcome this, and once we are going to overcome this, the industry is going to have a bang, a boom. So be sure of yourself. So what exactly now you have to do in this time? You're not sure if it is going to continue for next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. But trust me, even if it goes for next 6 months, nothing is going to change. You have, it is all about you, what you want to do, how you want to take it, how you want to go further. So I will be talking about three things here in my session. The first one is going to be the choices. The second one is how you're going to feed your mind during this time. And the third one is it all ends up fine one fine day. Okay, so we'll talk about, first we will talk about the choices. See, why I have chosen this is that, we are not aware of what choices we have once we enter a school, a college, a stream, a professional course. We are not really very clear on our mind. We have a lot of ignorance when we decide that, I want to become a chef, I want to become a front office person, I want to become an F&B guy, I want to go for higher studies, I want to do this, I want to choose this stream. We're not very particular about what are the choices we're going to make. I will give you a small example and a very nice one of this. When I passed my 10th, and you all must have passed yours also, there were three choices. Okay, either you can choose arts, either you can choose commerce, either you can choose science, right? Now, what usually used to happen was students who used to get good marks, who used to be bright in the class, they used to choose what? Science. Students who used to be mediocre, who thought that they cannot revive in science, they used to go for commerce. And we used to have that certain kind of image about our students that this is the bunch who is not going to do anything in life. They are going for arts. Okay. So I was a very average student. I will put it this way. I was a very average student. Okay. I got average marks in my 10th class and I chose science. The prime reason for choosing science was very stupid. I will tell you why I chose science. I chose science because my friends with whom I used to play cricket, they all went for science. So I ended up choosing science because I wanted to play with those guys. I never wanted to leave my school. So I chose science. Considering the fact that I was never good at maths, and I swear to myself that when I passed 10th, I thought that I will never take up maths again. But here I am again choosing physics, which is again a big time equivalent to mathematics. So I screwed up. I was good at English, I was good at Hindi, I was good at languages. I would have done if I would have chosen arts, I would have definitely done a honors in English or something or the other in arts. But that kind of ignorance about what commerce is going to offer, what arts is going to offer, what science is going to, I was not aware of that. It was a simple fact that I want to play cricket with my friends, so I went for science. Now I understand that in today's era, the things have changed drastically. Class 10 students, class 12 students, they are fully aware of what they need to do, what is there to offer. A lot of subjects have come, psychology, all this and that, and they are very much sure which colleges to take, how they want to shape up their career. But in our time, and mostly in your time, this was the only criteria when we used to choose science, commerce, and arts. I'm pretty sure of this. There is no other thoughts behind this. That okay, either by choosing science, you're not sure you want to become an engineer or a doctor or a scientist, but just because you got good marks, your parents said that you go for science because you have got good marks, you want to do this, so you have just enrolled yourself into a science stream. But that's not how the things are going to work. And the biggest drawback of studying in a hotel management college is, which I have after working for more than 10 years, I came to realize is that there are nice teachers, there are nice directors, there are nice people all around you. You go to the industry, you work there for 6 months, but is there someone tapping at your shoulder and asking you what exactly you want to do? Have you actually asked yourself that after spending these 3 valuable years in a college where you are spending so much money, so much time, so much of effort to get good marks, to get exposure, what exactly you want to become? This is the time. If I don't care if you are in first year, you are in second year, or you are just passed out from the college, but this is the time when you go back, you can talk to your teachers, you can talk to the industry people, you can talk to your seniors who are working in the industry to understand what it is going to take if you are going to choose a particular stream as your career. And when I joined hotels, trust me, I was never aware that there is a division which takes care of revenue, there is a division which takes care of this thing or that thing. I was not at all aware. If I would have been so much aware that a hotel degree offers so much choices, maybe I would have opted for something else where my interest lies, where I know that my skills are going to do justice with the job role I am going to pitch in. So don't go by just an instinct, what's more interesting is, I will tell you, when we join a hotel management college, when we join a hotel management college, in the first year, everyone wants to be a chef. Everyone wants to be a Sanjeev Kapoor. I'm pretty sure that this happens. In first year, everyone wants to go to kitchen. They are very much, fancied about, chef has got a respect in industry. Chef walks out to the restaurant. He talks to a guest. He's a celebrity. So everyone wants to go become a chef. Comes the second year, when you go for your industrial trainings, you see how much work goes into back offices, how much work they do to become what they are. And then by the end of your trainings, you decide to switch from kitchen to another easy departments. There are going to be challenges in whatever you're going to choose, but what I'm trying to say is, if you have decided that you want to choose a stream which is either front office, housekeeping, kitchen, or food and beverage, please be aware. Please go out and search your qualities, your skills, your moves, how you're going to make it in it as a long-time career. What are the things that you need to know? What are the things you need to upgrade about yourself, or to upgrade about technology, to know what is going to be required out of you to become a HOD, a general manager, or a director, or a CEO, or why to restrict yourself to something? But you should be clear about what exactly you want to make it. I will give you a very prime example of success, which I have seen that people. You all must have heard about Deepak Ohri, who's the CEO of Lebo Hotels and Resorts. I'm sure you must have heard. The guy started from kitchen stewarding. Can you believe this? A guy who started from kitchen stewarding, which is a department which takes care of, washing utensils, arranging them, giving them for buffet, all this stuff. He has become the CEO of an international chain. So don't limit yourself with this 4, 6 months, 9 months. If that guy from a kitchen stewarding job, he has actually taken his skills to another level to become a CEO of the company, and is a prime example these days of not letting one employee get fired from his company during these times. He's taken this tough call. He has done salary cuts. He has done some negotiations with owners, employees. He has made them understand. But he's a proud guy who stands out today. He has not fired a single employee from his company. I understand they have to take major pay cuts. They have to go on vacations. They have to work in shifts. They have to send some people home, then make some people work. But he has always looked out for those solutions. And he clearly says that I understand that, because I have gone through all those roles. So this is a prime example of rising from something to somewhere. So this industry is going to offer you a lot of opportunities, but you need to know what exactly I want to do. Don't limit yourself for saying, I just want to go in housekeeping, and I want to have I want to go to front office. I want to have a white collar job where I don't have to do this and do that, or I want to become a chef, or I want to do this. And is that really what you want to do? What exactly are you looking for? Please, this is the time you need to go back and check on yourself that, okay, exactly this is my skill. This is what I want to do. This is something I'm good at. And in the longer run, I want to become this. There are hundreds of opportunities. There is a sales and marketing division. There is a PR, there is a purchase, there is a human resources, there are a number of roles which are hotel chain goes for. You must not be aware of all these things. As students, I was not aware, frankly speaking. I was never aware of what all functions happens in a hotel. So I just chose front office randomly because I was good at speaking, I was good in English. These were just the two reasons. If I'm only saying is that once you are aware of the choices that I have this things to take care, and this is how I'm going to project my career. That's how you're going to do. And there is nothing like you cannot change your streams. Trust me, there is nothing like that. Other day we were in a talk with revenues. Archana conducted a talk, and there was a guy who is maybe a big shot in corporate in revenue, Celestian. He started in kitchen, and he's a director in revenue in corporates. Can you imagine what kind of growth he must have gone through? So I'm not saying, I'm only saying is that please don't cut out yourself or restrict yourself because you are not aware of the choices this industry is going to offer you. These months, please open your eyes, open your mind, go out there, explore the opportunities, talk to people, talk to your teachers, to Director Anand Yadav, Mr. Anand Yadav. We have seen a lot of industry, these things. Go and check in with him, go and check with your teachers, go and check with the people who are working in the industry, that what exactly the industry is going to offer. What are the other roles other than these four major departments? What exactly can I do? Maybe you are good at human resources. Why just just stop at doing hotel management? Go for an MBA in HR. Come back and join hotels. You like working in hotels? There are other options. You want to go to sales and marketing, do an MBA, and then come back and join sales and marketing. Or you can also start after doing your hotel management and sales and marketing. But you need to be aware of what exactly the industry offers you, how you're going to take this challenge, and how you're going to upgrade your skills and how you're going to go about it. This is the first thing, that be aware of the choices which the industry is going to offer you. You still have time. You not started yet. You will still have time to go figure out to see what exactly you can do, how you want to do this, where you want to go, how you want to go about. You want to go abroad after some time. You want to start with a particular chain of hotel. You want to do something else. Please go for it. This is the time to think and do some inner meditation about yourself, know your skills, and go for it. So I will recommend you, even if nothing is going to happen for next few months, please start doing this. This is an exercise which you should do right now, irrespective of if you have just started in first year, you are in second year, or you are in third year. Okay, the second thing which we will be talking about was a lot has happened during these times, and I understand that we all are getting bored, but when we are very, very young, when we are like you all must be what, 20, 21, 22, some people, that's the age, that's the age where we build habits, where we build career, where we build, different kind of things. Now, please understand this is the time where I understand that for 4 months we are stuck in our homes, we are not able to move out, we are not able to move friends, but there are hundreds of things which we can do, which we can learn, which we can grow, and we should use this time to build ourselves, and so that once it opens up, we have the right frame of mind to go out there and project ourselves as the best guys around or the best options around. People are definitely going to go for recruitments once this is over, but this is a time to upgrade your skills, to go back and check. I will just give you a small example, that we all love eating junk food. We all love eating junk food, and irrespective of how healthy we are, we definitely go for a binge here and there of junk food whenever we get a chance. But what happens when you every day you go for this same junk food? What will happen to your body? Your body will get full. Your body will collapse. That's a simple thing. So please, I understand you want to go for Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar. You want to go there, watch a lot of web series, a lot of new movies. But trust me, this is the time to build good habits, which are going to get life along with you, which will shape you as a better individual in the coming months, because competition is going to be very, very fierce once this opens up, because there are a lot of people who will be applying for jobs. There are a lot of professionals who are waiting to get back to the industry, who have to survive. And for this, you need a certain kind of knowledge, you need certain kind of skills, you need certain kind of mindset to go out there and perform and work. So trust me, use this time to build new habits, to go for something great. Like I tell you, that which a book I'm reading right now is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I have, I have tried reading it a lot of time, but the best answer which comes from, inside is when we are working, we hoteliers do get tired after our shifts and we cannot read a book. Now, I have started reading it. I will not say I read it whole day. No, I take maybe 2 pages here and there, 4 pages here and there. But it's such a lovely book, about habits formation and how you can go about your habits, how you can change your habits. A very small quote from that book is on ice cube, it is on ice cube. And it goes like this, that if you sit with ice cube in a room, let's say with a temperature of 24 to 25 degrees, when you start, the temperature starts increasing at 26 degrees, nothing is going to happen. At 27 degrees, nothing is going to happen. 28, 29, 30, 31, nothing is going to happen. The ice cube stays like that. The moment it strikes 32 degrees, the ice cube starts melting. This is a great insight to learn. Things are not going to change from 25 to 31 degrees once you will start doing good things. Once you will start having good habits, once you will try learning something new. When is this going to happen? This is going to happen at 32 degrees. So you have to be patient with yourself. You have to show some regularity, some patience to go all about this. This is simple. I just want to make sure that, I understand that you're going through a very tough time. You have attended lots of talks. I didn't want to talk about COVID-19 much, or I don't want to talk about operations post COVID-19. What I wanted to talk about was I understand, but there is a time when everyone wants to know what they have to do for coming next 3-4 months. So I have taken this opportunity to actually, the first thing which I told you was to be aware of what the choices this industry offers and then to plan your career ahead. The second thing is, please take this opportunity, take this time to build some good habits so that once the industry opens, you are ready and you go back as a strong individual. The third thing which I want to tell you is, I know that you all have been let down by circumstances, by this pandemic, by a lot of other things, but one fine day, everything is going to happen. It happens, trust me. I will tell you 2 examples. This session is mostly inspired by a gentleman called as Ankur Warikoo, who is the founder and CEO of Nearby, the organization which was earlier called as Groupon. I am a huge fan of this guy. He talks his talks are very inspiring, very motivational. So this talk is actually mostly inspired by that gentleman. But I will give you 2 examples, one from my life and one from Mr. Ankur Warikoo's life. I will talk about myself first. When I started my career, I started my career in 2007 with Oberoi Hotels and Resorts. At that time in 2007, Oberoi Hotels was ranked as #1 on TripAdvisor by Condé Nast Travel. It was a dream job. It was a dream job to get into Oberoi's, be it any stream, be it front office, be it food and beverage, be it kitchen, or be it housekeeping, or be it anything. Oberoi Hotels and Resorts was a name everybody was trying to get into, to work for them, to go about that. I was so fortunate to get selected in Oberoi Hotels and Resorts and start working out there. Just after 6.5 months, I will not go into what happened, but I had to leave Oberoi Hotels and Resorts in just 6.5 months. You know what I felt? I'm good for nothing. If I cannot take this opportunity and move forward in my life, I really felt that for next 10 days, I felt I'm good for nothing. Nothing is going to happen to me. No good offers are now going to come to me. I'm not going to be able to do anything in my life. I have wasted my life. I wasted this opportunity. For 3 years, I worked so hard to get into front office at one of the biggest brands that the country is going to offer. I have ruined it. I have hit my rock bottom. Then what happened? I got another opportunity. I will not take the brand name or the hotel because that's not the thing which I want to say. But it was kind of the second best brand of the country, and I got out selected in that. I went to work there. Now, Oberoi Hotels and Resorts at that time was a very young company. The managers used to be of 32, 33 years. There was a lot of culture of learning. There was a lot of culture of pushing youngsters to go to work. And when I joined this new company, the culture was entirely different. I was not happy working there. I went for 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, 15 days. I tried to push myself. I thought that maybe there is something wrong with me. I'm not able to adjust. So I actually gave my time. And this was one of the best hotels the country offers to its guests. They have won a number of awards, but I was not happy working there. What I did on 15th day, I decided I'm not going to work like this. I decided that I will not go to the hotel. I just typed my resignation. I went to my boss, who was the EM of the hotel, executive accommodation manager, and I said that, sir, I don't want to work for this hotel. I would like to go. And he just looked at me like he was in complete surprise and said that, Bhavani, are you sure what you want to do? That this is what you want to do? I said that, sir, I'm absolutely sure. He sent me to the human resources guy. The HR manager told me, that people die to work for this hotel. People die to work for this company. And I said that, sir, I acknowledge this fact. I understand. मैं समझ रहा हूँ कि आप क्या करें. And he got so pissed off with me that he said that, Bhavani, I will make sure that you don't get a job in this particular city or in this brand ever, ever, ever in your life. I said, sir, that's your call. I have not liked this. I'm not going to work like this. I'm not happy working here, and that's what matters for me. So I just left the job. Now imagine, number one hotel chain, hotels and resorts, 6.5 months. This is like the second best chain of the hotel. 15 days, I left and said bye. Again, I was back to those gloomy days where I thought that I'm good for nothing. I have done well in college. I was mediocre in school, but now what next? But here I am today after spending 10 years, more than 10 years in the industry. I eventually become a front office manager. I have dreams to become certain thing in my life, which obviously it's with me and I will work on that. But I want to tell you that failures are not going to stop, or 6 months or 8 months or 9 months of not doing anything is not going to affect your careers. You will going to rock. You will do wonders. You have to believe in yourself. You have to open your eyes. You have to go all guns blazing when this is going to get over. The second example is of Mr. Ankur Warikoo, who am I follow, and I'm a big fan of him. So he has quoted this in one of his sessions is that he has always had this fancy dream of going to US and do his PhD over there. He was doing his PhD at one of the most iconic universities in US, but he was not happy working there. He clearly said that one day I walked out of the university. There was a park outside university and a bench. And I just went there and I sat and I asked myself, am I happy working here? And the answer came that no, this is not what you want to do. Trust me, imagine those days going to US, doing a PhD is such a big thing in life. And that guy decided, he just clicked the photograph of that bench, that place, and he took it with himself and said that one day maybe I will come back and see how life will treat me. He went back, he came back to India, he did lots of other things all around. He created a company, did MBA, become a founder and CEO of Groupon nearby, done lots of things. And then one day he decided that I will go back to that university to see if that bench still exists, if that path still exists, if that place where I have decided, where I sat one day and decided that I am going to do this does exist. And he tells in that session that once he came back to India after that, his parents were not talking to him, his relatives were not talking to him, his friends used to make fun of him, that are you a fool? You have come back from US to India, you have left your PhD, you're a kind of a sure shot guide to success, you are going to be a superstar, and suddenly now you have come back to India and you don't know now what you're going to do. So it clearly says that everybody was upset with him. He was really not sure that how is everyone taking this, why his parents are not talking to him once he has quitted that thing. And then when he become all this CEO and all, he went back to US and he went back to that bench and he clearly says that at that time, I want to talk to that 20-year-old or whatever the age was when, and he wants to go back and say to that guy that you did the right thing. And he clearly in this session says that I want to go back and tell that younger Ankur Warikoo that yes, after this much time, I want to tell you that one day everything is going to be fine. You are going to be fine. You are going to chase your dreams, you are going to work as you want to do. So what I want to tell you is that the world is not going to get over in next 6 months, 9 months. You are going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. You're going to chase your dreams. You're going to chase your aspirations. But be ready for that time. When the time comes, you should be ready to use that opportunity. At that time, you cannot say that, oh, I was, not doing anything these past 6 months. I was enjoying my time. I was having a gala time, watching Netflix. I was at my home. What could I have done? That is not going to be the excuse when the time will come. The time will come, definitely it will come, and you will have your own set of dreams, own set of values to work upon. This pandemic has given us actually an opportunity to go back and check upon ourselves what we want to do, what exactly are our dreams, and how we want to go about it. So use this time. I won't take much of your time. I am almost going to, I'm narrowing down my session and this was all I wanted to talk about, that what are the choices that you have, how you want to think about it, how you want to go about it. Next was to utilize your time, and one fine day, everything is going to be fine, and you all will have your share of opportunities, your share of growth, your share of stories to tell. And after 10 years or maybe 20 years, you will remember and you will tell people that, in our times, there was a time when this COVID-19 came. And I really thought that this is the worst phase of my career, of my life. I am not getting any opportunity, things are not working out for me, nothing is happening. This is going to happen. After 20 years, when you will sit back and think, this will look like a joke, a story, which is going to get over. It's something good, something bright. And you will tell maybe your kids, maybe the next batches of students, but don't lose hope. Things are going to be okay. You are going to be fine. Okay, I won't be taking any subjective things like COVID-19 or revenue management or front office today. I wanted to make it a little impromptu, little motivational, little more about you, to understand what you are going through, what is your thought process, how you guys are feeling. Because I understand that everybody is talking about how the hotel operations are going to take place, how this is going to happen. But we need someone with whom we can speak, with whom we can share that what exactly is going inside us, how are we feeling going around. So if you have any questions for me, if you want to ask me something, okay, we will be doing on Monday or maybe whenever I will coordinate with Ankit, we will go into one of the sessions of what exactly a revenue stream offers in terms of career choices for you. We will do that, and maybe we will do a small session on hotel operations post COVID-19. But today was not a session which I wanted to include all these study topics into it. I wanted to make it more about you, about the opportunities that we are going to experience in the next coming days. So if you have any questions, if you or any of your staff or any of the students have any concerns they want to talk about, they can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself and come live and speak. If Archana, you want to share something, or anybody wants to say something.
Bhavani, there are some questions in the chat box already for you. If you can take up one by one.
Sure. In the meanwhile, if anybody wants to come up with something, you can let me know. Right, so we have few questions.
Students, please switch on your video and ask the question if you want to ask anything. By the time, sir will take all the questions up.
Okay, the first one is from Riti. She says that which hotel gave you the best experience and proved most fruitful for your career? Okay, so Riti, I will answer it without thinking once. I spent only 6.5 months at Oberoi Hotels and Resorts, but I can tell you precisely they are the best company to work with. You know, they have got the best of SOPs, they have got the best of managers, they have got the best of systems, they have got the best of experiences, and maybe, you know, these days I'm not sure what others are offering, but it's a dream to go back once again and work for Oberoi Hotels and Resorts. So if you ask me, Oberoi Hotels and Resorts have got the most crisp and sound learnings for a new individual who's going to enter the industry. But yes, as I'm going to tell you one thing, that it will all depend on you. It will all depend on you, how you want to take up learnings, how you want to go and project yourself out there, how you want to, you know, going to learn from your seniors, how you want to learn by observing things. And one more thing, that our industry is not actually a theory-based industry, it's mostly a practical scenario industry. So the more you observe by seeing others, that's how you're going to learn. You're not going to learn by reading books. You have to do practicals. You have to see people, how they are doing things, how they are talking to a guest, how they are serving, how they are doing something. But you know, that's how you're going to learn. So please be a good observer and be a sponge. Try and absorb as much possible from everyone who is around you, who's going around you and doing things. That's how you're going to learn. You're not going to learn by digging into books. So please be practical, be a sponge, absorb everything, and learn by watching others. I hope that answers this. And yeah, so Karthik wants to say that, wants to ask, do you think the attributes of front office and revenue staff are same as, or they are different? Karthik, it's a very good question, but yes, I will say that those are actually two different streams, wherein front office and revenue is mostly about most of the people from front office are switched to revenue, from revenue to front office. It's more or less a same department in smaller hotels, but in larger inventories, mostly the revenue is something which is very, very specialized. And when you have corporate offices, then revenue is very, very specialized. But yes, there is a huge difference between a front office and a revenue guy. I will not talk about much about front office, but we'll talk about revenue here. If you're good at numbers, if you love number crunching, if you are very good at numbers, if you know how to if you have a clear vision how to forecast things, if you have a clear vision how, you know, if you can see that, you know, this is going to come and this is how I'm going to project my hotel. If you have a vision to think beyond present about future, if you love numbers, go for revenue. But please be very good at Excel, PPTs, and be very good and sharp at using technology, because revenue is going to require another level from you to use technologies, to use Excel, PowerPoint, or all these things, and be very specific. You have to have numbers in your mind. A revenue manager has to be very, very good when it comes to numbers, when it comes to budgets, forecasting, and all these things. So if you want to go for revenue, please be sure that you are good at all these things, or you can gradually have these skills, but this is the base idea or the base difference between a revenue and a front office guy. A front office guy is mostly goes more about his, I would say, it's mostly about using common sense. Anybody who's in front office is it's not a rocket science job, first of all. Trust me. Anything which happens in a hotel is not a rocket science thing. You have to apply common sense. That's the only thing you need to have if you want to work for front office. You see something happening, you apply a common sense, you will get a solution. Nothing is going to help you. Yeah, of course, you need to have some knowledge about using a software, how to talk to a guest, and all these things, but mostly it's only about that small sense, which is common sense, which will help you to deal with all the situations, in all kind of things that are going to happen. So please be open in your mind if you want to go to front office, and apply that small common sense in every situation that you're going to face. Okay, the next one is from Akshita. Do you think front office staff can only move to revenue reservation, or fresh people can also enter? Okay, so there is no such thing that only front office or sales guy can move to revenue reservations. if you are entering into, okay, first you will not be obviously into revenue. Mostly you first have to gain some experience in working by working in reservations, because reservations and revenue is very closely associated. So for first few years you need to have a very good hand at reservations. You need to learn a lot of policies, lot of how to talk on a phone, how to take a call, how to process a reservation, how to. There are a lot of situations which comes in reservations. Talking by while you are speaking to the guest, you will be having a lot of cancellations, how to handle them, how to save revenue, how to sell. So once you learn all these small things about reservations, then the next step comes is using all these skills and tactics to move into revenue. But yes, there is no obligation that if you are in some other stream, I have just spoken, that Archana went that day was speaking, that guy from kitchen has went into the corporate office in revenue. So there is no such thing that only these set of people can go into reservations or revenue. Anybody can come in, provided you have that kind of skill, you have that kind of passion to work, you have that kind of passion for numbers, to talk to people. And if you have these kind of things, you can definitely go and join revenue. And it's a very good option. I have, in fact, Archana has worked in revenue a lot. She's a very close friend of mine. So I can definitely tell you that this is one of the best career options moving forward. Right, so we have another question which has popped up. Is by Monica. It says that what is the strategy to increase the revenues with optimum utilization of resources and data available to revenue managers? Hi Monica. So this is more about revenue and optimization, which I think today is not the great time to speak about this. When we connect on Monday on a next Zoom call, when I will take you through a whole series of presentation about revenue, the revenue patterns, what are the factors which decide which a revenue manager decides how to put his inventory rates and all these things. That time probably you will have a better understanding of what exactly a revenue manager does, how a revenue division functions in a hotel, and then probably I will also be in a better presentation to answer these questions, and you will also have a much better understanding of revenue management processes and what exactly a revenue manager does. So we'll not take that, but I will take a note of this question, and on the next Zoom call we will for sure discuss about this in our next Zoom call. Okay, hi, Ankit has asked me question. He himself has been a front office manager. Do you think to become a good front office manager, you should have knowledge and experience of revenue management, or how that something goes on? No, I think Ankit has asked me this question. No one can become a good front office manager unless they don't have a exposure to revenue or reservations, because please understand that reservation is the nerve center of front office, is the nerve center of hotel. That is the place where the guest is going, where your cash flow is going to come, where your revenue is going to come. See, F&B is not going to work until unless your room sale is not going to happen. How much you going to earn from non-residents? Nothing. Your spa is not going to, the major revenue is going to be room revenue, and that is going to come from your reservations. So if a front office manager doesn't has a clear understanding of revenue, how it works, if he is not eager, or he doesn't has any kind of exposure to work in revenue or in sales, he will not be able to run his department effectively and won't be able to contribute as much as a good front office manager would contribute to a hotel. He can definitely run his department. Now, most of the city hotels, I will tell you, most of the city hotel front office managers, where there is a big inventory of 400, 500 rooms, the front office managers are mostly only involved in operations. They hardly have a role to play in revenues. I will not go into how the hotels operate and all, but I am only telling you is that if you want to become a good front office manager, if you want to contribute effectively to your hotel sales and growth, to your revenues, you want to have some share, you want to be good at that, then please be exposed to reservations and revenue. Then you will have a great knowledge about how the entire operations works for a hotel, and this is going to help you in becoming a good leader. Right, so I think I have pretty much answered the questions. If anyone would like to say something or would like to have a question in chat box, they can tell me, or hi, Ankit, if anyone would like to ask something, Amit or Archana, anyone?
I think students are done with their questions.
Okay.
Students, if you would like to add some more questions, you can come in. Anything related to front office or revenue.
All I want to say is that we will be doing a specialized Zoom call on revenue as a stream. What exactly this offers to the students, to the people who are coming out of the college. We will definitely do another Zoom call, which will only talk about revenue, what exactly a revenue manager does, how effective is it in today's world to have great revenue insights, to go for great revenue strategies, and what exactly happens. We will go a little bit in depth when we will be doing our next Zoom call. It will be more about talking about revenue as a prime subject. But in today's session, if you have anything, if anybody wants to ask something or add something, they are free to do that. Otherwise, we are to end the Zoom call.
I think Bhavani, students don't have any more questions right now.
Okay.
So if anything comes up from the student side, I'll touch base with you. And
Right.
we would like to invite you to the college premises to have an interaction in person with the students.
Right. Right.
And they'll be glad to be in touch with you over the front office. And we have a lot of students who are interested to join front office in the near future. So
I would
probably you
love
can
to
be a
do
best
that.
guide for them.
Yeah. This is something which I love doing, so I will definitely try and come to college, and I love being with students because that's a different kind of energy altogether. And
But you need to come down to Jaipur from Rishikesh. So plan it
I'm in
accordingly when we
Jaipur.
will be giving you a date.
I am in Jaipur. Don't worry. So maybe we can do your next session, maybe in from college itself.
Sure, once the students will be allowed to come to the college, we'll definitely.
Yeah, we will plan something out.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all the
Thank you,
best.
Bhavani.
Stay positive. Take care. Bye bye.
You too. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you, Archana.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Archana, madam.